Alright guys, we're back for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and today we are going to be updating the top 10 list for PvE and guild quests overall for when it comes to mainly the SP characters and a bit of the NAD characters. But anywho, yeah, this list was last updated during Golden Week, and ever since the 9th anniversary, we have gotten ourselves a lot of new characters that are going to be making their way into the list. And fun enough, even one of the resurrectable characters are for the first time making it in the list because it's just that damn good. So yeah, before we begin, let's just make some adjustments to the attributes as they are right now. So speed, I don't think there's anything we need to change here. I'm keeping Kangdu, Sangdu below Macy because of the simple matter of fact that in Guild Quest, he's not that potent, but he is better in Limit Breaker Quest compared to Unohana and Macy for when it comes to using overall speed characters. So there's that and nothing else. Heart, just one little adjustment. I'm gonna place Bruno above Ruka because the value that he brings in Guild Quest for Melee Hollow as a side unit is still really good, up to par. You might even be able to use him as a side unit for Melee Spada for very hard, huh? There's that, but at that point, we'll dive into the topic real quick. Mind, I am definitely going to lower down Aizen because I feel like I placed him a bit too high on the list as a character with Frenzy +1. So I'm placing him below 7th Anniversary Ichigo because, sure, this guy definitely is showing his age, but he's still really good in Guild Quests. Balgo, yeah, he's a bit weaker, not that good. Ikaku is still good as a farmer. Tech, there's nothing to be changed here. I think it's fine as is. Power, I'ma be honest. Parasol Rukia, even after owning her, I still hate her flaws. She's right now only good in Inheritance Trials and in Guild Quests. Not even that good, and in Limit Breaker Quests. No, bro, I cannot defend this character anymore. I really cannot. So I'm going for how I originally placed the characters and just do this. However, because Yama has pretty much officially fallen off of Guild Quest, even though he's still solid to use, I'm gonna put him underneath Rukia directly at this point. So there's that. And that's pretty much about it for changing the current tier list. So now we can go ahead and start by adding in the new characters and of course talk about Lige because this guy, he got a really massive resurrection, like a resurrection that I would expect on the same level as an easy as Dokkan Battle because this guy already was solid upon coming out in the game. It's just that he got power crept to hell, and now with his resurrection he essentially picked up 66% more damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment, which works nicely for his kit because he cannot inflict ailments while keeping the Berserker at 40%, but his hit underground enemies got changed to hit underground enemies plus Pierce Iron Skid, making this guy the best character to use for Inheritance Trials and is basically a mini Tensa Zangetsu. He did pick up a 100% chance to hit dodging Soul Reapers and dodge Soul Reaper damage by 50%, but it's too much. And let's not forget that he had a really good kit. He has the same kit as Tensa, just a bit less width, and he's definitely deserving of coming back onto the list. So what I'm going to do here is completely remove this Visored Ichigo, and now you have Lige right here, who is just better, like crazy. And I'm putting him above Neliel and Mishiro directly because he's just gonna do what these characters can do, but just way better. You don't even have to worry about anything. You can get the job done. He's just missing the Super Potion skill and the Link Slaw Potion skill, but just link Mishiro and E-Burn to him and you're good to go, etc, etc, etc. And I think it's a pretty good placement for this character right here. Up next is gonna be Masaki. Now, this character, she does have the barrage attack like Bambietta and Yumichika, but was given the 18% shade. So we pretty much have a problem here. It's a character that is amazing in Guild Quest, but outside of Guild Quest, she isn't that crazy, and Yumichika gets away with it because he has a 3k length beam, not any type of Suction Vortex, no 18% shave, and that's why I placed him higher in the list. But yeah, that being said, the skill set that she does come with is not a joke. She also has 40% SP boost, as the soul trait isn't indicated on the Soldex website, unfortunately. BBS Simulator, if you guys want to ask. But the damage output that she has is still really good for Guild Quest. Frenzy +2, Havoc of 20%, increased ailment chance against Oronkers, 120% SP boost with Recharge, Poise. Also has extra 40% power attribute Quincy damage to status summon affected enemies, 60% Berserker, damage to paralyzed enemies of +40%. You guys know that when she has Killer, she's pretty much a menace to behold. And yeah, again, 18% shave on the SA1. The barrage attack like Bambi, like Yumachika, and then regular 1200 radius full screen. And this character is gonna be a pain because I do not know where to actually rank the character. But if I were to be honest, let's just talk about this real quick. This is a character that is only good in Guild Quests. Outside of Guild Quests, she just pales in comparison to the likes of 8th Anniversary Ichigo, Rukia, and Yama. And the crazy thing about these characters right here, all of 3 of these characters, is that they're just not good anymore in Guild Quest, especially this Yama. He was a GQ king, but now he's definitely fallen off, even though he's ironically the better of the 3 characters, which is actually crazy to think about. So I think the right placement here would probably be below Yama at this point, or above him. Lads, I don't know, but I know I'm already gonna get some hate in the comments. Masaki should be higher, Masaki should be lower. I'm just doing the best I can. If you guys disagree, it's cool to disagree, but if you guys have a problem with this list and go as far as to spread toxic and negative comments about how I make this, then make your own list. I've said enough. We still have 2 more characters to add in, and that is Mugetsu and Soifun. And Mugetsu is thankfully a really safe and easy choice. Now, he is the very first character to come with Team Party 20% strong attack damage, and this character brings a lot of versatility to all of your characters, because you can basically turn characters that have damage to status summon affected enemies per specific attribute and affiliation. You can link this Mugetsu to those specific characters and it'll become like an Akon, which is actually insane. But besides being a link, he also has Berserker 50%, crazy nuking capabilities like Bombardment +1 with damage to weakened enemies of +40%, Frenzy +2, Havoc of 20%, increased element chance against hollows, hit underground enemies, Marauder, 100% SP boost, strong attack reach time of -12%, and weakened defense. So yeah, also having Long Stride with Sprinter +3 for flash steps, and is immune to every status summon. And his kit is amazing. He has a 3k length beam, True Shikai SA2, so 960 to 1020, and a full screen SA3. So we already know where to rank this character. He's gonna go at #1 for power. Easily. There's just no debate about this character. And then up next we have Mukyu Shunko Soifun. This character finally got her anime version, and I am gonna state it right now, I was definitely very wrong about her performance in Guild Quest. She is actually capable of getting 50 seconds remaining in very hard Guild Quest if you have her 2.5 and above that. 5.5 you can definitely get much better scores overall, but even at 1.5 you can get around 45 to 48 seconds remaining, so I'm gonna apologize about that. But I still feel like the lack of guard break in the long run, let's say we were to get harder content, whether it be co-op, Senkaimon, and she will have less rules in Limit Breaker Quest, that too. For when she's up against enemies without melee guard, I do feel like it's still gonna have an impact overall. Now that being said, when she has Killer, she has Human Killer Plus, so 40% killer effect rate against those enemy mobs. And on top of it all, strong attack reaches time of -14%, can boost on the SA2. I initially found this to be a problem for Guild Quest, but not really. This is more so of a problem for when it comes to PvE content, because she'll get the extra cooldown reduction once you have defeated 60 enemies. If you guys want to know what the defeated enemy bonuses are, it's stamina recovery, an extra 30% more full stamina damage boost, and then you get the recharge when moving in between the quest areas for any given character, regardless of the attribute. You still need to kill 60 enemies, but once you get that active, yeah, that's gonna be really damn insane. On top of having Berserker 60, Booster, full stamina damage boost of 20%, Frenzy +2, Havoc of 20%, increased element chance against humans, Paralysis immunity with 80% SP boost. Her kit is also solid too. She has Long Stride with Sprint +2, so this character has 5 flash steps, and an extra reduced strong attack cooldown of 6%. So it will help with getting a bit less cooldowns with the SA2 since it is a boosting attack. It's going to take around 18 seconds to come back now rather than your typical 2120. SA1 flies and lunge, 900 radius, 3k length beam. I would have preferred if she at least spawned a vortex to make her better, but it is what it is. And SA3 is going to be full screen. Again, just the lack of guard break is kind of what's holding me back to putting her at number 1, but the damage output she has, what she brings to the table, she's definitely deserving of being number 2. So yeah, I'm glad I kind of corrected my mistakes. I still feel like Ulk is going to be the more solid character, but the boost does make a really huge difference for this character overall, and she does have an EX move with the lunging attack, so yeah. That's the power list completely updated. Let's go ahead and drop down Kisuke, Eburn, and Kenpachi. Their time is officially over, so there's that. And now let's move on to tech, which is pretty easy, funny enough. And I don't think I'll even be able to add this persona now, huh? So tech, let's start off directly with Swimsuit Bambietta. Bambietta, she's a great character, but only really amazing in Guild Quest. And outside of that, she's basically gonna be an Ichibei without the gauge. Now, she does have Berserker 40, Frenzy +2. In Guild Quest, she gets Frenzy +3, increased element chance against Rancors, 30% killer effect with 50% in Guild Quest. She also has a defeated enemy bonus where if you kill, I believe, 15 or 25, you get an extra killer effect rate up. With Long Stride, Marauder, 30% melee damage in Guild Quest, 10% outside of that, with 80% SP boost, strong attack reaches time of 14%, minus 14%, double status elements of Paralysis and Laceration with Havoc, Freeze immunity, Sprint +1. The kit is the same as Ichibei, by the way. Suction Vortex on the SA1, SA2, 3k length beam, full screen, SA3. So, in terms of a character, where to rank her, I'm definitely going to tie her with Ichibei. She can either be above or below him. You guys can take your picks, but I feel like this is probably going to be more so the best way to go about it. Ichibei has also fallen off from Guild Quest, funny enough, because of a particular character we're going to cover real soon, like Soul Reaper. True Shikai is already covering that, and Ichiro Nahana, Quincy, and there's someone we got to add to the list. So that's why we're going to keep him here. And then up next, we have ourselves the king himself, the best character in the entire game, Remy. 9th anniversary Remy. Yes, Holo Killer Plus with strong attack damage of 20% and recharge of minus 12%. And he brings back Frenzy +3 for the first time after 8th anniversary Ichigo, and decide to make him mega OP because he already has Berserker 50. Paired along the soul trait, 70%, but guess what? That's not all. Team Party Quincy strong attack damage of 20%, and Team Party Quincy damage to status summon affected enemies of plus 30%. This will allow him to buff every single Quincy's. So, Kyogre is getting buffed, Bambi is getting buffed, any type of Quincy is getting buffed, and this guy is forever going to be good. Element Reversal is kind of wasted. I'm not a fan of it, but it is what it is. Complete immunity, increased status summon chance against Hollows, Sharpshooter, 80% SP boost with weakened defense, double elements of Paralysis and Drain. He also has dodge hollow damage with Havoc of 20%, Spurn +1, and his kit is also godly. He has 2 beams. The first is a 3k length beam with 870 width. The second one is a 3k length beam with 1020 width, but then he spawns in the Homing Vortex, which completely makes up for not being a 960th Homing Vortex. And then you have your typical full screen 1200 radius SA3. And this character is just so freaking unmatched with what he can do. He is very fast at clearing content. He does so much freaking damage. It's what tech needed. And we're easily going to put him at number 1, baby. At number 1. So, yeah. Damn. All of the Spirits Offer with you characters are officially gone now. And, yeah, there we go. I did want to add in Parasol Nanao, at first, but she's going to be an honorable mention. If you guys want to know what this character is, she's basically a Link Slot Potion farmer with a solid kit at the end of the day. Plus 10 Link Slot Potions, I believe, and she has the plus 5 Soul Trait, so there's that to take into consideration. Other than that, she's a great character for farming content. But yeah, that's the technique attribute completely covered, and now it is time to jump on over to the mind attribute. So starting it off with Meninya, this character is another ultimate farmer. She's better than Ikaku, as a matter of fact, and her damage output is also the same as Senjumaru, but that's not all. She's even a super Link Slot Potion Link. That's insane. With Quincy Killer. Frenzy plus 2, Berserker 50, 100% Purity, Coin Drop completely wasted. I would have preferred this to be something else. Heart Link Slot Potions of plus 5, Medic, Multi-Bear plus 2, Shared Complete Status Immunity, Strong Attack reaches time of minus 12%, and Super Heart Link Slot Potions of plus 5. So she's a plus 10 Super Potion farmer. She heals and gives out barriers on the SA2. No ailments, but it's to be expected. Innate abilities, Guard Break plus Pierce Iron Skin, Havoc of 20%, and Sprinter plus 1. The only bad thing about Meninya is the SA1, where she was given Asashiro's SA1, so there's that. But honestly, with all those cracked multipliers as it is, you're still going to be able to kill off some wave of enemies, and you'll be able to do so just fine. As a guy that has her, I personally enjoy her. Literally, I did not have too much of a problem using that SA1 of hers, believe it or not. And then the SA2 is going to be a 960. Oh no, never mind. It's a lunge. Okay, never mind. 870 radius lunge, so Unohana's lunge, and then a 1200 radius full screen. So, other than that, a fantastic ultimate farmer. Just as missing droplets, but is better than Ikaku. So, at the bare minimum, I'm gonna place her above Ikaku. That's where she deserves the list. And next up is going to be this 1000-year blower Ishin right here, who got his remake. He too, just like Misaki, has 40% SP boost on the Soul Trait, and the crazy thing is that he is the second character to get an SP boost for the Mind attribute. On top of it all, Quincy Killer, and that's why Ichibe has fallen off of Guild Wars, because of this character right here. He has Frenzy plus 2, Berserker 50, Devastation 60, increased element chance against heart attribute enemies, Marauder, Poise, Rampage, 80% SP boost, strong attack recharge time of minus 12% with weakened defense, double ailments of burn and laceration. Innate abilities, he does come with Havoc, Sprint plus 1, and weakened immunity. That being said, they did kind of nerf his kit a bit, but it's not even the worst. He has a 750 radius lunge, so for those of you guys that aren't familiar, it's basically Kenny's SA1. So, yeah. SA2 is going to be the 750 into Homing Vortex, so basically 8th Anniversary Ichigo's SA2, and then you have yourself a 1200 radius SA3. So, yeah, this character is what if 8th Anniversary Ichigo was given the 80% SP boost, in this case, 120% SP boost with Rampage. This is what this character could have been, and of course, was given a better SA1, so. His damage output is far superior to Yuha Baha, but he is still missing some of the perks that Yuha has that still makes this character a complete king, such as, you know, a better kit. He does have the 960 into Homing Vortex, the Suction Vortex, the defeated enemy bonus, the double soul bombs. Like, he still is a much faster and a more potent character than Ishin, but Ishin, oh boy. He's a ridiculous character that you guys can even argue for him to be number 1. It's possible. Like, you guys can actually even state that and be completely right. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to say that for the Mind attribute, I think he is just going to sit here tied with Yuha for the best Mind characters in the game. So, yeah. Bro, Mind has gotten so damn stacked. It's crazy. Anywho, bye-bye Mayuri, it was nice knowing ya, and bye-bye Baldo. Meninya completely replaced you. It's sad, but hey, it is what it is. Alright, we have 2 more attributes left to update, and that is the Heart and Speed attributes, and thankfully we only have 1 character to cover for each of the attributes, so let's start off directly with this Hollow Bankai Toshiro, because he, as a matter of fact, not only is he buffing True Shikai, but he's also just crazy. He was given different killers, He is a range character and has so many damn perks to his kit. He even has an EX move like Soifun, except this time, whereas Soifun does like a lunge, which does some damage, this guy spawns in a Vortex Trap, which freezes the enemies, does damage, and you'll be able to get all of his damage output out there. Strong attack damage of 20% with strong attack recharge time of minus 12%, art attribute Soul Reaper damage to status summon affected enemies of 40%, Berserker 50, this gets rounded up to 70%, bombardment, complete status immunity, damage to frozen enemies of 100% with this, and Berserker 70%, debilitator of plus 5 seconds, devastation of 50%, Frenzy plus 2, increased ailment chance against Quincy's and no affiliation enemies, Long Stride 80% SP boost, and weakened defense. And he also picks up Havoc of 20% with Sharpshooter and Sprinter plus 1. So yeah, and the kit, 3k length meme on the SA1. SA2 is going to be an attack that is similar to 5th anniversary Byakuya's SA3, but as an SA2. This is a brand new SA overall, so that's why you don't really see that much similarities. But like, it's a new type of vacuum into explosion where the last hits, oh my god, it just does a crap ton of damage. It's crazy. And then the SA3 is going to be your typical 1200 radius full straight attack, and I do consider this character to be better than True Shikai. I used him in Nightmare Guild Quest. I came close to 50 seconds remaining. Even though the stats were nerfed, I came really close. And the fact that you can easily get 50 seconds remaining with him at 2.5, just freaking ridiculous. It's stupid. It's dumb. No words can describe how freaking OP this character is right here. And you guys can even argue that True Shikai is still #1 because of the better kit and the better status summons, since he has weakening and laceration. But at the same time, don't forget, this Toshiro is helping out True Shikai. So yeah, you can tie them together, but for me, I feel like Toshiro is #1 for heart. And then lastly, 9th anniversary Kenpachi Shikai Kenpachi. Kenpachi finally gets a brand new unit after 2 years. The last one was the Spirits Are Forever With You version, and now we get an anniversary Kenny. I'm all for it, and he is #1. But the kit is very different compared to Unohana. I'll definitely say that it feels a lot less fun to use because he picked up the same lunge as Ishin. But the SA2, 960, but the thing is, it's not a 960 in front, but it's all around him, so it's basically True Shikai. It's basically this tag team Ichigo's SA3. And take it into perspective, Concord Ichigo's SA2, where it's a 1080 radius, they just basically nerfed the radius and gave him that kind of SA2. But then you have the SA3, which is a 2-stage charged SA, which is freaking ridiculous. And if you guys haven't even looked at the damage multipliers, he has Espada Killer Plus with 14% cooldown reduction, 100% Berserker and Frenzy plus 3 with weakening and laceration. Debilitator of plus 5 seconds, devastation 50, increased ailment chance against Ronkers, Marauder, Poise Break, even though this character is yet to be used in Limber Breaker Quest, 80% SP boost, weakened defense, and weakened duration minus 100%. And he, just like Toshiro, just like Soifun, he has an EX move. I forgot to mention, Gremmy's EX move, he does buff and debuff and has like an AoE in front, but like, you guys get the point. This Kenpachi's EX move does a bit of damage around him, but he gets 100% SP boost, and it's a different type of multiplier. It's separate. So if you go ahead and attack with your strong attacks first, and you get the 80% SP boost, you can then use the EX move to get that. And because it is a multiplicative buff, some friends I know have done the math, and I got the result. Proc with your strong attacks first, and then activate the EX move. You're getting a 360% SP boost, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. and you have him with weakening and laceration, you can easily give this guy damage to lacerated enemies of plus 40% via the bonus abilities. And this guy, right here, at 1-5, if you bring Shinji and Akon to completely mega juice this Kenpachi, this guy 1-5 can clear within 56 seconds very hard Espada Guild Quest. I repeat that. You can clear in 56 seconds remaining very hard Espada Guild Quest. And if you guys have this guy, Max Transcended, guess what? He is capable of clearing any melee guild quests for very hard. That's how stupidly cracked this guy is. Even though the kit is very different, I don't enjoy the kit too much, but he is definitely, without a doubt, the hardest hitting character in the entire game. This character outdamages Unohana, Toshiro, Ishin, Yuha, Mugetsu, Remy. He's able to do all that. At the cost of having a bit of a weaker and a less fun kit, he is able to do all of that, which is ridiculous. Glad to have Kenpachi as an anniversary character, and I'm glad that they did so much justice to him. It's good. I love it. It's fantastic. But yeah. And lastly, before we end the video, we have an overall top 10 character list. So this is what I managed to come up with, which was easier than actually ranking the power characters, because I was very unsure where to rank Misaki. But that's just about it. And this is what we have right here currently. So for the top 3, we have Gremmy, Kenpachi, and Toshiro. These 3 characters right here are the best of the game overall with the 9th anniversary units. And they are just able to do every single thing that no other character can do with their damage, with their kits. Like, it's ridiculous. You guys have no idea. Now, if we want to take into perspective, damage-wise, Kenpachi is definitely the best damaging character of the 3. Remy, once you get the EX move active, he's able to outdamage Toshiro, but Toshiro is really, really close. It's not even funny. Like, you can actually mix and match and say Kenny is number 1, Toshiro is number 2, Remy number 3, Remy number 2, Kenny number 1, Toshiro number 3, or even Toshiro number 1, Remy number 2, Kenny number 3. It's a mix and match of how you guys can actually perceive these characters and how you play as them. But for me, I feel like these 3 are just gonna stay tied in between the 3. It's just crazy. And then from number 4, 5, and 6, Yuha, again, he is definitely a bit weaker, but once you get the defeated enemy bonus all out and active, he's just stupidly cracked still to use. I already discussed the defeated enemy bonus that he has. He gets more damage, he gets the extra soul bomb. He just becomes so much stronger over time, and he's so good. He has not fallen off whatsoever. True Shikai definitely has gotten better with the release of Toshiro now, and I did tackle on very hard guild quest. I managed to get 54 seconds remaining with this character. It's not even funny, and I felt like he was more consistent than Unohana overall. Even though you have to build up the rampage with the trap, for guild quest he was just a much better character, but you can say that Unohana is better than True Shikai. I'm just saying that right now, and Kyoge being better than True Shikai, but you guys get the point. So, yeah. And then we have the 3 Rampage characters right here, Unohana, Kyoge, and Ishin, which are all unmatched. You can actually mix these characters up nicely, and you guys would be fine, honestly. You guys would be right. It doesn't matter, but I feel like Unohana is still the stronger character of the Rampage units with weakening. Kyoge has the better kit and has a much faster movement. And then you have Ishin right here, who is insanely strong, just is a bit slower. And then number 9 and 10, you have Mugetsu and Soifon, which I think works pretty damn nicely. Again, Soifon is great for Guild Quest. This Ichigo too is great. I just find Ichigo still to be the much better power character overall. But yeah, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with the lists. I know I'm gonna be getting those crazy comments. I'm just gonna say that right now. But yeah, this is how I feel with the characters I've played, known, and everything else for Guild Quest and PvE content. I feel like this is probably going to be the best where it's at. So, thank you guys for watching. If you guys have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button, share this video with your friends and family, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that way you guys are up to date with my most recent videos. This has been your boy, the Dash Smasher, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. So, have a wonderful day, lads. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.